Us last night on the hotels in Manhattan being transformed into these migrant centers. What's the latest?
Laura, scenes like this have greeted New York commuters outside the Roosevelt Hotel, which have been transformed into shelters for illegal migrants. I spoke with local business owners and those who work in the area. What have you seen being this close? I mean, your store literally backs up to the Roosevelt Hotel.
That's right.
What have you witnessed?
It's really horrible. Horrible with children, kids, babies, mothers, fathers sitting on the floor. They don't know what they are doing. It's not even affecting just this business. It's affecting all the businesses around this area.
What do you think of the city spending $225 million to house these migrants here?
First of all, that's a crazy number. I mean, city needs those money elsewhere, no doubt. Why does New York owe this to the rest of the United States for this to pay that bill? That I don't know. This should definitely be dealt differently.
I'm going to tell you what
Yes, I have to add my 2 cents because I once upon a time used to live in New York, but I want to say for all of those who voted for Biden, most of you, some of you, maybe minorities, single mother living in the hood. Now you have to compete whatever little government aid, food stamp, EBT, whatever Medicare, Medicaid, whatever little government assistance that you used to get or you should be getting. Now you're going to have to split it amongst them illegal aliens. But that's the man who you voted for and you said he must come in. Now you're going to take second place to the illegal aliens. For those people who also asked me why I left America after living in America over 30 years, this is why. This is part 1. I will make this a series. For those who still don't get it, for those who think America is great, this nation once upon a time was a great nation. Where America is slowly but surely falling apart. It's like she's on the fast track to self-destruction or on the fast track to imploding. It's like war from within and without. Listen to these people here.
here in this city and state, and we're not even taking care of our own people. I believe in helping everybody, but how do we go about helping other people when we're not even taking care of? There's a homeless vet that used to sleep in there, and he can no longer sleep in his doorway because now it's taken by the migrants. It's just, it's a travesty. And shame, shame, shame on Eric Adams. Have you heard about the pilot program that they're offering to people, in which they're going to offer them 5 different states to live out of, give them a stipend to live for a year, and give them work? And I got this from a friend of mine who is a counselor here in the hotel.
This is not the solution, and we have to do something about the border. Let's face it.
Laura, the city of New York has already spent $5 billion to care for the 100,000 plus migrants, and more are coming. And we don't know who they are.
Yeah, we have
$5 billion. This is the same nation in America where many average Americans are struggling and frustrated. A video all over TikTok that some of them working 2-3 jobs and they still cannot pay their rent. They are still struggling to barely make ends meet. And your country have this much money to bring in foreigners and take care of them for a year. Provide free housing, Medicare or medical assistance and food, stipends and all this stuff. And meanwhile, you the citizens working 2-3 jobs and you still cannot make ends meet. You still cannot take care of your needs. As much as you have 2-3 jobs. But your country looks at you and went across the border and brought some people in to give them money because they value foreigners' lives more than they value their own citizens. But I thought charity begins at home and ends abroad. Shouldn't the charity and the funds should go to the citizens first, especially those who are struggling? And it's not like the Americans are lazy. They are working 2-3 jobs, more than 12, 18 hours, and they still cannot pay their bills. And here your nation is giving money to people who they invited to come in. Rent-free, but at your expense. So your 2-3 jobs you're paying, the taxes they're collecting from your 2-3 jobs is the taxes they are using to take care of people that just came into your country. Isn't that something? For those of you who wonder why I left America, I hope it's sinking in, because this may just be New York, and it may just be starting with New York. But I'm sure if you leave it up to the Biden administration, if they have their way, this can be all of America. But it's a blueprint. They are starting off and they're letting you know. You can continue to listen up.
People and counting, and then gotaways.
Yeah.
There are public schools and our ESL programs are completely overloaded. We don't have enough teachers for the American kids, and it's ridiculous. Healthcare, all the rest.
People underestimate the danger of this, Laura. ICE just arrested 366 illegal people with criminal records, and 75,000 illegals have now been named national security threats by Border Patrol. The worst is yet to come, and as long as we're talking about scary things, for Joe Biden and all the world, these could be the most frightening words ever uttered. The word of the day is understand.
Joe Biden's going to be fine, but let us also understand that every vice president understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different.
Well, now, we all knew from the get-go that was her plan, or that was their agenda, to put some old geezer, some old dude up in the office that everybody know he's suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's or combination of both. The man that's supposed to be in the retirement home sitting down chilling, taking care of his grandkids or playing with his dog or whatever it is. They put him in the office knowing full well he was mentally and physically incapacitated and unfit to run the nation. They put him there. Now, why did they put him there? Because the ultimate goal was to take this witch Jezebel, this heifer, and put her there and make her president. So she's letting you guys know now. These people, before they do anything, before they roll out anything, they always let you know ahead of time. So now they let you know ahead of time. Get ready to hear President Kamala Harris. Yes. I hope you are getting ready. For those of you who keep asking, why would anybody leave America to go to Africa? I hope it's sinking in. If it isn't sinking in, you are so dull. Your skull is so thick and you are so dull, or you are so delusional, or you have some kind of veil over your eyes. Keep watching.
The most frightening words ever uttered. The word of the day is understand.
Joe Biden's going to be fine, but let us also understand that every vice president understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different.
Why don't I feel reassured, Laura? You hear that? That's like verbal X-lax. Everybody runs to the toilets when they hear that. But this conversation of Kamala Harris as president in waiting is becoming more urgent because we have a president now giving...
It's time to get your passport. It's time to run to the border. It's time to run to the airport. It's time to run to the mailbox and make sure the passport you applied for 4, 5, 6 months ago that is in the mailbox. Get your tickets, cash in your 401k, and get out of Babylon because it's a sinking ship. Get out of Babylon or sink with it. What's your choice?
Quickie speeches, and when he does host an event like at yesterday's medal ceremony, he just wanders out in the middle of the proceedings.
Where's he going? Where's this dude going?
Laura, look at the faces of the photographer and one of the attendees. They're like, where the hell is he going? Should I leave? I don't know what to do here. It's amazing. It's amazing he gets away with this.
It looks like that Medal of Honor recipient was almost relieved when Biden left the stage. I sensed a feeling of relief coming over him.
Yet the White House spokesman claims this was all planned, the quick getaway.
He left as planned, as it was planned. He left when there was a pause in the program in order to minimize his close contact with attendees.
Right.
Laura,
This lady.
the dog that 8 Secret Service agents did not have close contact with people, but Biden is in close contact. He shouldn't have come to the event if he's doesn't want to be in close contact with people.
He's hanging the medal around the recipient's neck. I mean, as
close is that?
two elderly gentlemen. This man's an American hero, and he has to have him breathing on him. I don't care if he tested positive or not. Are we doing contact tracing still? I'm sure there's a lot of contact tracing that we should be doing.